The sky so far away tonight, but I can't lose this war. Got a pride of a fallen night. Thought that I was fit to fight for us to be. You gave me life for loving me. Tell me, where did we go so wrong? We were the perfect photo line. Why don't the pictures come out right? We are emerging from the skies. How can you choose to leave me Don't you tell me goodbye. After all we've been through, gave my all on this bumpy ride. Thought that I was fit to fight for us to be. You gave me life for loving me. Tell me, where did we go so wrong? We were the perfect photo line. Why don't the pictures come out right? We are emerging from the skies. How can you choose to leave me Put your body on the kitchen table and move the dishes to the side. Yeah. Girl, you always tend to drive me crazy, looking at me with those eyes. Yeah. Put some music on, turn the lights down low, throw the pillows off the bed. Blow the candles out, move your body slow. You got something on your mind, I might try to help you let it go. Try to help you let it go. Try to got something on your mind, I'ma try to help you let it go. Baby, I'ma try to help you let it go. Oh no, try to help you let it go.
I'm dancing, I'm popping now. My dancing is popping now. Yeah, I'm dancing, I'm popping now. My dancing is popping now. Yeah, I'm dancing, I'm popping now. My dancing is popping now. Yeah, I'm dancing, I'm popping now. My dancing is popping now. I'm dancing, I'm dancing, I'm dancing, I'm dancing, I'm dancing, I'm dancing,
Need no laser, 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 need no laser beam. Need no laser, 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 need no laser beam. lose my breath. I'm going to find my space. We did it before. Now I'm going down when I just wanna stay high. We did it before. Now I'm going down when I just wanna space out. Why can't we talk about it? I don't think that you realize how far deep I'm drowning, and I don't feel that you're on my side. I need space to find myself, a little time to get some rest. If I stay, I lose my breath. I'm going to find my space. We did it before. Now I'm going down when I just wanna stay high. We did it before. Now I'm going down when I just wanna space out. Space out. I just wanna space out. Space out. Space out. Space out. I need space to find myself, a little time to get some rest. If I stay, I lose my breath. I'm going to find my space. We did it before. Now I'm going down when I just wanna stay high. We did it before. Now I'm going down when I just wanna space out. Space out. I just wanna space out. Space out. Space out. Space
Watch out, I'm coming for you, and it will feel like it's a dream coming true. Don't mind, I already knew. You dropped that gorgeous, but you don't have a clue. Your smile could tear me apart. I dwell with this strangely aching heart. Just hold on, you'll soon be mine. I know that you give in. So come fall in love with me. 'Cause I know we're supposed to be. Let's go home to bed now. It's more than just a game for two. It's made for me and you. I stay in your head now until you're mine. Let's go home to bed now. It's more than just a game for two. It's made for me and you. I stay in your head now until you're mine. Watch out, I'm coming for you, and it will feel like it's a dream coming true. You're mine, I already knew. You dropped it gorgeous, but you don't have a clue. Your smile could tear me apart. I dwell with this strangely aching heart. Just hold on, you'll soon be mine. I know that you'll give in. Give in to me.
everyone, Fran here from Drone's Life with a quick new product intro.
I thought I saw a light when you passed me by. The reason why I shine, you're the reason why. I thought I caught your eyes, the love is blind. I thought I saw you smile.
What about now? We got sound? Oh, don't do this to me again. So there's lit there's literally no sound. No sound again. Bollocks. So there's definitely sound, is there? Right, okay. Let me just switch some screens over. So let's chuck you over there. Oh, sweet. Spare me a second. Oh, that's super delayed, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's literally down there. Right. Anyway, good evening. Welcome to the Drone is Life live stream. We have our usual. Okay. Right. So we'll start off. Daniel's just left. He's had enough. Can only hear me. Can't hear anyone else. Oh. Where's that coming from? I'm getting feedback here. What the hell? Oh, is Daniel coming back? Oh. Ah, this is nuts, man. Can't hear the panel. Can only hear me, can't hear anyone else. OBS sucks balls. Can you hear that? Mm-hmm. This streaming bollocks is complicated. Yes, it is. Sack him. Yeah. Right, so that should pick up the audio because we did it the other day, Luke, right? Yeah, we did, and it worked. Yes, we will be right back. Desktop audio. Window capture. Don't need the cursor. Okay, so why is it not capturing audio? Ah, it can hear Luke, but very quiet. Ah, right, okay. So turn up the inputs. I am turning up the inputs. Right, so I'm cranking all your volumes up to 150. Can you hear everybody? James? The delay is super real. Oh man. James, say something. What? Kelsey is quiet. In OBS, stick the input up. I have. Input is up. What about now? Can you hear me? Can you hear anybody else? What about that one? Oh my god. This is not. Let's have a look at this. Audio. Auxiliary cable output. Mic. Desktop audio. Ah, that might be why. Let's have a look. What about now?
I'm guessing you can hear me then.
How's that?
How's that?
Oh no. Not out.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Right, folk in the chat, can you hear everyone in the call? Even though it might be like, what? Who's swapping? Right, no one's swapping. Right, we're good. Blowing up the audio. Right, I thought so. There you go. Right, okay, fixed it.
Hey.
Do not enable RTX voice on Discord for these type of calls, because it sucks. Right, so anyway, let's drop you guys down to normal levels then. So, there. And let's kick this show off again. Since we're 15 minutes in. Well, at least we fixed it. That's the main thing. Right, anyway. Well, I'm going to the knitting live stream then. There you go. Snow. Yeah. Now we have sound from all. Right, nice. Okay, let's kick it off. Right, again. Welcome to the Droneislife live stream. Today's guests, we have our usual team, Kelsey and Malk, down there somewhere. We've got Jab down here.
Hello.
We've got Luke beneath me.
Hi.
George that way.
Hello.
And then on the other side, we've got Daniel. James looks like a passport.
Wagwan.
I look like a what?
Passport.
Shade. Photo. Yeah.
So, this week's episode, I thought we'd get a couple of the other members of the team. So we've got George Crashcroft and Daniel. What's your handle? I'll only call you Daniel.
Smoke it.
Oh yeah, that one.
Smoke out.
Smoke out. There you go. Learn
Yeah.
something new every day. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so these guys haven't been on the stream as quote-unquote regulars, so thought I'd bring them on and just have a general chit-chat about what's happened in the last week since the last show. So there's a few things that have cropped up. TBS have released the Tracer RC Link on 2.4. We briefly talked about that at the end of the last show. I wasn't entirely sure I should release that information at that particular time. But yeah, it was done the day after.
So the Tracer, what specs has it got over the top of IRC's one, Ghost, or is it pretty similar?
It's like 1 millisecond faster.
All right.
Yeah, literally, it's millisecond stuff. Wait, what the?
Super duper fast link that no one really is gonna notice, in my opinion. I'm gonna stick with Crossfire.
Hold on a second.
I'm sticking with Crossfire.
Why?
I'm
I mean,
gonna-
it's perfectly good if like every single
Why?
racer at a base would have it, but you know, but is it really that noticeable? I'm not sure.
Well, John Hall was flying the Ghost, and I'd respect his opinion. And he says he could feel it. It was, I can't remember what he compared it to, but he said he could definitely feel it was much more locked in. And
He flies R9M, doesn't he? He doesn't
no,
fly...
he's got Ghost because Tony named something Atto or something like that. One of the receivers was Atto, and
Oh, the Atto
Yeah, and
Ghost receivers. So yeah.
John was like,
Atto
"Oh, that's an
receivers.
interesting name," and I think Tony sent him one, and then I noticed they've got a Proton or something as well.
Oh,
Proton
really? I
something.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it was a Proton pack or something. They called it. I can't remember what it was. But...
I think I'm going to stick with the Crossfire for freestyle and potentially, after seeing how I'm going to see how the races are next year. But if I get any sort of Crossfire bandwidth issues, like any sort of losses of sort of control, I'm going to probably switch to Tracer for racing. And I know it's like a pain in the arse to switch the sort of the things out the back, but it's worth it for racing, I probably think.
Well, let's be real, right?
It's the bandwidth, isn't it?
Well,
that's the issue with the racing. Is it's the Crossfire's bandwidth isn't enough for the amount of people that are using it. Like when you've got 6 people in a heat, all using Crossfire, you do get issues with sort of.
But and like 2.4, you can get like 120 pilots in there, and that's only ever going to become a problem at like Flight Fest or something.
Exactly.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's
exactly.
not going to happen in a racing.
That's why 2.4 is good for racing.
So apparently in the chat as
But
well.
equally, if everyone moves to Tracer,
That's the thing. That's why I and a few others I think of sort of are hoping is that all the UK racing guys sort of swap to, or the majority of them, like 50% of them, swap to Tracer, and then we can just stay with Crossfire, and then there's reduced people, and you've got half and half split sort of thing. So.
yeah. What is latency on like the latest Crossfire shot?
Ooh.
Sure, I think Crossfire's like, is it 8 milliseconds, something like that? I know the Tracer is 4, isn't it? 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's about 3 or 4 milliseconds. But you've got the RC latency versus.
What? Is that?
Who is
Nice
that?
noise.
Is that
I think it
Malk?
was Malk.
Oh, it was
Malk
my
with the
dog.
doggo. Anyway.
I can literally hear that dog.
Should I put in the chat now? Headphone warning.
Yeah.
I'll just hold it over
Yeah.
his head for a second.
I mean,
Yeah.
George's
You
cat's
just-
strolling
I've
around in the
warned
background.
everyone. Headphone warning, loud doggo coming up.
Yeah, George, where's your cat? I've seen that walk past a few times.
Has it? I didn't even notice she was here.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's what colour was it? I've got 3.
Black.
But
It's a
one was
black
a
one.
one was a luminous pink
Fluffy or
under the
not
couch.
fluffy?
Hot pink cat.
A hot pink cat, yeah. Oh, right, yes, that was Otis. Good old Otis. I'll see if he comes back in. I don't know if he knows.
He's heard his name. He's like, yeah, I'll come in.
Nah, they don't come to their names, do they? They're fickle little creatures that cuddle you when they want and then they eat food.
It's the dreamies that you rattle. You rattle
Yeah,
the
the
dreamies in the
dreamies.
kitchen.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Do
They
not
could
get in
be
the way of a cat and a
they could
dreamies.
be in a 7-hour deep sleep snooze and they'd be like, "What?"
Shane says to George, it looks like
They
you're in
know
a
what's good.
nightclub.
Yeah.
Bro, you should see my house. Like, you should see my fucking whole place.
Just
wired
just
up
off
to
screen on
5
George's,
seconds.
there's a pole to the left.
Yeah, there's a bird. I just had to tell her to get out just while she was dancing, just so I could, do this sort of works.
It's on a break.
Why do you think I never come up?
Yeah, then
Yeah,
there's
no,
the-
my house does look like a
Why do you think
nightclub,
I never
and they're
come
all
on?
controlled by Alexa.
Oh, awesome.
Go on then, give us a demo.
Alexa,
Give
turn
us a
lights
demo.
off.
Give it my headphone.
Oh.
Alexa, turn on Annex.
Jeez, they look bright.
Whoa!
Alexa, let's chill.
Smooth.
Oh, you can't hear can you hear the music?
Yeah.
I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alexa, stop. And she controls my bedroom and my bathroom as well as LEDs everywhere.
Can you do the same with?
Alexa, flush
The
toilet.
toilet.
Why did he flashing lights in the
No,
bathroom?
not quite. One day. I want to get it to lock my house. I want to be able to just walk out and just like lock my house from my phone and then come in and just,
Yeah.
Why do you need
Sky Sally
adjustable
then
lights in the bathroom? Is the big question.
Why not?
Because sometimes, Dan, instead of bright white light, you want luminous blue or maybe some purple. I don't know. How do you
hot
feel?
pink.
Or hot pink. It depends who you got round. I like LEDs. I don't have any LEDs on my quads though.
You can buy the light things, can you? Where it's like an LED
Yeah,
light
it's
thing
like
type thing, and it just fits in
it's
your
like
stock sort of.
is it Philips Hue or something? Philips Hue.
No,
Yeah,
so mine's all cheap Chinese rubbish. It literally works so well.
Okay.
So
Amazon
there's-
jobs.
there's-
Alright, fair enough.
See this light switch here?
Yep.
This is like
Yeah.
a £10 Wi-Fi light switch. I just wire it up as a normal light switch. As long as you've got a neutral cable there, you can put it in. and
Can
then connect it
you-
to Wi-Fi.
Can you do the same with Google Home Mini?
Yeah, you
Like,
can
will
do
it
it
the same
with
thing.
it.
Any sort of
Yeah,
smart.
do the same
Yeah.
thing. So it's just a skill. It will just be a skill that connects to your smart home.
Okay,
I would get into it.
I'm gonna do that then. I'm on some
Mate,
links
it's
after
cool,
the live
yeah.
stream.
And then everything else are just buy cheap LEDs. That some of them have Wi-Fi controllers, so you can change the color with Alexa. Some of them you just literally are just plug in with Wi-Fi plug
Yeah.
and fiber.
Yeah.
So you just there's loads of those about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
Lovely. She controls my heating as well.
That's pretty sick.
So I just put my heating. I basically just,
Alexa,
I live in like
50
a
degrees.
glorified-
Roast
Yeah.
yourself
Oh, you
alive.
beat me to that. I was just about to say.
I think
Alexa, tropical.
Flowzone FPV is right. You can never have too much RGB. I shall now demonstrate.
Yeah, totally.
The amount of RGB is real.
Oh my
Nah,
God.
you should see his room. It looks like a unicorn's thrown up.
Look, Ready?
It's fine, my PC's fine. Did anyone notice the tomato ketchup next to my PC?
Yes, I saw you lift it up and put it on the shelf.
God damn it, Stephen.
Yeah.
I tried
I
to
don't
do
want to
that
say
so
anything.
quietly.
Cover
I've
as
got-
hell, and like it was just clear as day.
I've got a fair few more LED strips to put in anyway.
Oh, wow.
Get on.
Stephen, there's all the RGB stuff.
hmm Right, so went
Can you
off
make 'em,
topic.
like,
we were
go full
talking.
rave mode then, like,
Oh yeah, you probably could. Right, so we're talking RC Link, the TBS Tracer. Who's going into it?
Not me.
As I've already said, it depends. I'm going to do a few races next year and see what it's like. Play
I
it
can
by
see
ear.
why if you want to race, then get it, but I do not want it.
I've seen Steele released a video a few hours ago. He's shifting everything to Tracer now from normal Crossfire. So
I think they've done some crazy long range on it as well. Well, on the Ghost system, they've done some crazy. Long
yeah, they
range.
have. So that's the
What
thing,
distance
right?
can you get on the Ghost then?
Well, the Ghost covers what 500 milliwatt output.
All right, get on.
So your
I
Crossfire.
thought we were only allowed 10 in UK.
Steven's just nodding. Nodding. Smile and wave, boy. Smile and wave.
Yeah, so all
25
all
milliwatt
country
on a
laws
BTS.
aside, we're talking specs rather than law. So the Ghost, as far as I'm aware, it's 500 milliwatt output, so it covers, all the distances that the Tracer would cover, but not get as far as Crossfire would. So the way that it was sold on the live stream, the TBS live stream for it, was that you want to go long range, like what I do across the car park, go Crossfire. If you want to go 399 point whatever feet,
Yeah.
just go Crossfire and use the LQ and all that good stuff that we're all familiar with, most of us anyway. We're all on Crossfire, right, at the minute?
Yeah.
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 Makes sense,
I just
right?
got the diversity receiver in the post today for my X class, and it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's like bloody
It's got
huge.
lipo
It's like-
inside it, isn't it?
No.
It has, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Does it?
Yeah, I think so.
What?
Yeah, it has,
As far as
because
I
if
can
you
see, Crossfire
bid
has a
it,
LiPo in it.
it has a GPS beacon.
Yeah. So,
Huh?
so when it goes down, you can activate the beacon, and then it'll give those 3 UHF tones.
The big boy.
Yeah.
The diversity one.
Yeah.
Are you talking about
Yeah,
the
the big
nano
boy for
diversity
wings.
or the
Yeah, because there's
big
a
one?
nano diversity, isn't there?
I don't know, the one that looks like the nano, but 2 of them with 2 antennas.
Yeah,
Alright.
so that's the
Oh,
nano.
right, well, that one
It looks
doesn't
like-
look
it looks
like
like the size
Yeah, I was
of
going to say. That
I thought-
Yeah.
just doesn't have a. Yeah.
I thought it was about the old school big one.
Which one?
The one you hook up to the power core and stuff like that.
Oh! Yeah, I know what you're on about.
Yeah.
Big one, yeah. The one that's got all the PWM pins on, the one for planes with like the SMA.
Yeah.
2 SMAs. That one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, they're like 100 quid, aren't they? Those.
Yeah, they're super expensive.
Yeah, the massive ones. Yeah.
They're like 80 quid out of them, something.
Yeah, something stupid like that.
Yeah.
The nano diversity one was actually pretty good. I think it came down in price actually, so hence why I bought it recently.
It was like 60 quid or something, wasn't it?
It's something like that. Yeah, I got it off Shane. Have a look.
I was looking for Pete the Penetrator. but I can't
59
find
in
him.
it on Drone's Life.
He's gone.
Peter Penetrator.
Yeah.
Hello. He's been 3D printing stuff again.
Hello.
He's. I had him out the other day, but he's disappeared somewhere.
The nano diversity RX is 50 quid on Droneislife.
I did on.
The
Oh,
nano
wow.
one, yeah, it's it's pretty cheap. Other
that's the
places
one
are
I
like
bought.
60 quid, I think. So
Is there a massive sort of range boost over the standard like Nano RX then, the diversity?
Oh, I'm just playing it safe because it's a massive quad. I don't want it plummeting and hitting someone in the head. Just playing it safe, to be fair. So I'm just getting 2 immortal Ts and mounting one that way and one that way, so that
Yeah.
I cover all the sort of axes.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do with this guy here.
Yeah.
So
You've got
we've
one on the back of the GoPro, haven't you? Sort of.
Yeah, so we've got one straight up and down here, and one on the back.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah, just
I bought extended ones as well, given that it's an X class, so I can get them as
yeah,
far out.
these are extended as well. These are like the 15cm ones.
I was going to say, I think the ones I bought were I bought them on Hobby RC because they were the extended plus ones or something.
Yeah.
Like the extra extended ones, if you know what I mean.
So they're like a meter long.
Yeah, yeah. I need to find out. Hold on, let's have a look. V2 extended extra cable, extended. Cable length is 220 mil, so 22 centimeters.
That's not bad. I could have done with that on that build actually.
Because I bet the ones on there, Stephen, are only the extended ones, the normal extended ones.
Yeah, 150 mil then.
Yeah, 15 centimeters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, hang on. 15. No, 120 mil. It says the cable length is on the normal extended ones.
Yeah, so that's 12 centimeters then. So maybe I'm wrong.
And then the extra extended ones are 220 mil.
And the usual ones are what, 8? Something like that?
And the usual ones are something like that, yeah. I'll check
80
that.
mil?
80 mil, yeah.
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 Hmm.
The trace, that's another point as well, is that with the tracer, the antennas are probably going to be a lot more durable given how small they are. Less likely to get into props and that.
And there's 2 of them.
And there's 2, exactly, yeah.
And I kind of think they look cooler.
What was that, George?
I kind of think they look cooler. They just like two little.
Yeah.
It's like 2 little mini Mortal Ts.
I was about to say the mini mortals. They're pretty much the same
Yeah.
size. The mini mortals get such bad range though. I put one on my toothpick and it fail safed at Laxton. I was sat flying in the flying tent and it fail safed sort of the other side of the tree where Doris is. And I was like, oh, okay.
I never had an issue with mine. I stuck one on the toothpick and it was beautiful, lovely.
I get good range sort of. It's quite weird. I get good range sort of in urban environments. Cause I fly around my house, sort of like outside a lot and that. Cause it's only small, like up and down my street and that. And I get perfectly good range with that. But I took it to Laxton, open field, and it just like it wouldn't even get to the other side of the field.
Were you sat down or stood up?
I was
on the bog.
I was sat down until I started getting sort of, you know, when you're not fail-safing, but you sort of get the roboticness of the controls. The controls sort of do like it only receives like half the inputs you're putting in. It sort of goes like that, like does the coggy sort of type thing. I was getting that, so I stood up and it didn't help at all. It just fail-safed. So I don't really think it made a difference. Got the toothpick up there actually. But yeah, I mean, a full-size Immortal T on a toothpick would be stupid. I have got everything up there, yeah. There it is. The wee thing. I've got a Nano Predator in there as well, so I get a really good video from it.
Yeah, so there's nothing blocking the RC link on that, unless the pod's too tall when you come round an object.
The mini mortal's there on the arm, as you would do with a sort of a normal crossfire.
Yeah, but if you're like going around a tree.
Yeah.
You know, not like a tiny stick tree, obviously, but like some solid surface. The RC link might be blocked by the top of the pod, maybe. It's maybe too close. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Wouldn't have thought so, but
I think I might upgrade this at some stage by the bigger frame, the 3-inch toothpick frame. I think I might get one of those because the board I've got in there is complete overkill. I've got the Beta FPV 20 amp thing that can take up to like 4S, and I'm running it on 1S on a 65mm toothpick. So I could probably buy the bigger motors, the 3-inch props, and the bigger frame.
Or just get a bigger battery.
Could
A, light,
do, yeah.
a lighter, bigger battery, and you'll be done.
It's heavy as it is. It's 84 grams, I believe, which is like the top end of the limit if you want it to fly well, according to Bob Rugi Kebab, who's the guy that sort of invented these.
Yeah.
I think it's 83 was what he said is the top end of sort of where you want it to fly nice, but I don't really notice the difference. It flies really well, like a 5-inch, and because I've got the Predator in there, I get awesome video.
Mhm.
Nice. Has anyone done any of these
Can't
naked
see with-
GoPros?
Great cameras.
I've
No,
not.
let's see yours. Whip it out. Come
I
on.
am. Whip it out.
See, I've got a damaged Hero 6.
You
got
should
dents.
Go
still
on,
do it.
strip it.
Do it, Steve.
Dents and shit in it, so it might be worthwhile sticking it
You
on.
know what? It's so funny that you say that's damaged. My Hero 6 that I use is more damaged.
Yeah, it's in worse condition than that.
It's in worse condition than that. But yeah, strip it.
The
It's not
screen
bad.
doesn't work. That is just damaged. I
Oh.
barely ever use that one.
Yeah, strip it. Get a little. So this is the what's this? The 85.
Yep.
Can you see?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Alexa, annex lights on.
Alexa, turn on living room.
Oh, turn on living room.
Right.
Down.
I'm writing
There's
all these
the
codes
85.
down.
There's the 85X. That's cool. It's just like I can't remember what I put in there to be quite honest with you. I think it's literally this is a 3S one that just does 3S things that I don't really use very
I
much.
bet they're dead useful for the sort of stuff you're doing, the business stuff.
It's
Like if
very well
you get
good, yeah.
shoots for inside and stuff.
Yeah, we've flown them all sorts of places. It's brilliant.
You get in GoPro quality footage for.
And no one really bats an eyelid. Like you can fly them almost anywhere. Like mitigating the risk, when you're not.
Yeah.
When you're flying one of these, it's not. Like it's not going to damage anything. So. That's one of the 95Xs, and then but that's the V1 version where the GoPro the battery goes underneath.
Yep.
And it flies like shit. And then
Interesting.
you've got another 95X as well, but with the V2 kit.
Top
just
mount,
like
yeah.
that. So top mount battery,
Yeah.
toilet tank like, and then yeah. I mean this one's the nicest one I got because I've got the Zing. What are they? 14. I can't remember now. 1408, I think. Is that
Yeah.
1408? And then
Yeah, they are then.
Yeah.
the nice 20 amp board. The I don't really like the camera. The Cadix.
I've not been a fan of Calyx. I've only had one. I had one for the toothpick, an ESO2 or something, and it was terrible.
Well, I got this.
field
It
of view
was
was-
super duper light. This is like 1 gram. It's called the Ant.
Yeah, I've
So-
heard of that one. Yeah.
So I stuck that on it, but yeah, and then I got 2 naked GoPros. So I've got the Hero 6 in the V2 case, and it's like really really nice. And then I got the Hero 7 in the V1 case.
Okay. I like how it has the sort of the little lens protector thing around it in the shape of the old the sort of the GoPro lens.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean-
The square bit that sits around it.
Yeah, this one's a V1 case, so I actually hate this one because it's awful to put together, and
Is
the
it?
carbon like sits horrible on the front, and the 3D printed parts like this just comes off, and it's not very good for light leak and stuff. But this is literally just an injection molded case.
Yeah.
You stick everything in.
I bet it's lighter as well, though, on the injection
Oh
molded one.
wow. Okay.
It's slightly lighter. I think this one's what, like 26 grams?
Yeah.
27 grams or something, and this
That's
one's
F-all.
32 or something.
That's insane.
So.
And you're still getting the same footage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my plan with that is I don't really use that very often, the 7, because you can't real steady it, and what's the point really? Like the quads do honestly not fly that well. You can't. There's no matter how much tuning you do, it's never going to fly like a 5-min.
I bet it's just throwing this out there. I bet it's for someone that flies a Bando, it's probably quite a good thing because if they made their GoPro made a naked GoPro, they could use the weight that they've saved to make like a foam sort of cushion for it to sit in. Like I'm just imagining one of these naked GoPros sat in like the fattest GoPro mount you've ever seen to protect it.
They're really unreliable though. The fucking
Are
things
they?
horrible. Yeah, like because I'm using the Beta FPV Beck boards that go on the back. They just click into the what's it called, little pin connector things on the back, and that's one thing that's sort of unreliable. Although they're screwed in now, so it's better. It's still a bit rubbish. And also, I don't know, they just seem to be a bit finicky, you know, like the slightest little movement on that cable that might draw a little bit of power, or it cuts out for a second, your file's corrupted. For some reason, my settings don't save, so every single time I've got to power up my quad, get onto the GoPro app, try and connect it, which sometimes doesn't work as well, and then put my setting, you know, like it's all just very, but I think we'll get there at some point. There's another app that you can download and get a better connection to it.
Yeah. Josh says he wants to see Shane's moist face in the chat.
I want to see Shane's moist face.
100% Shane's typing out a reply now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rapid fire typing.
Yeah.
So George, Mr. Wiggles was asking us to ask you what you did with your little thinny quad today.
No, yeah. Okay. Well, do you know what? I've left it in. It's even in the car still. That's how like annoyed I am. No, I'm not annoyed. I just flopped. Basically, the camera connection to my run cam was flopping about. I went above like the canopy of some really lovely trees, and we were filming me on a hill going down on a skateboard, and I was just flying my quad for fun. And there's a concrete thing below, and it just cut out. Literally, video went black. I disarmed because I thought I was going to caught in some trees and smash onto the concrete.
No way.
It's fine. It's fine. The neutrino stood up. It was the neutrino.
Nice.
But the GoPro did not. So that'll be my next naked GoPro.
The GoPro took the impact.
Basically, yeah, landed like. I mean, imagine that's the 5-inch. Just
landed like that.
Ah, shit.
A bit like that, yeah. Sort of,
One frame that I'm interested.
Made a good sound. It echoed.
Wow.
one frame I'm interested.
Destroyed.
Yeah.
One frame I'm interested to sort of crash test is the Apex, because I've not really flown it enough to sort of see how durable it is. So it's the
I've
arms
tested it, and I can confirm it's bomb-proof.
Is it? The arms are absolutely insane. They're 5.5mm arms, and they do not move whatsoever. The amount of I physically cannot snap the arms, no matter how hard I try. That is insane.
It's funny, Mr. Wiggles, Brent was flying his Apex today with a Hero 9 on it, and that fucking Hero 9 makes the Apex look like a gecko. It's so big, huge, it's massive, it's huge.
That's smacked off so many walls, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right, Dan. You are right. It's unfortunate.
Someone get onto GoPro and let's have a Hero 10 session.
They don't care. They don't care about us.
Nah, we are too small a market for them.
I know they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do need to make another session.
Yes, everyone puts warranty on them.
Yeah, yeah, we got their warranty.
That's why.
We almost made them go bankrupt.
I need to print a new mount for my Apex, a new GoPro mount. But there it is. To be fair, when I last flew this, it's got a foul core in, Foxeer foul core, and I'm not overly a fan of the foul core from when I last flew it. It's the video is just dead. It's really washed out. The colours aren't as nice as the Predator at all. It's just sort of like the quality is insane. It's the detail and the quality is insane, but the colours and stuff aren't like anywhere near as good. So for freestyle, we sort of.
I've been told that the latest version
on the contrast.
Yeah, the latest version of the Falcors seem to be pretty decent. I've not tested any of them yet.
I forget which one's in this, whether it's the 1 or the 2 or whatever.
What motors are on that, Luke?
The X-Wing Cybers. They're 1777 kV.
Oh, heaving
Such
kV.
a weird kV, don't you think?
Sorry?
Such a weird kV, like did they?
It is a weird kV, yeah. But all the motors, they've made this series of motor, all the different sizes. So there's a 2306, which are gold, and they've made all the kVs the same. So the 4S kV, I believe, is 2555, like 2555, 2555 kV. So they've made the last 3 numbers the same on all the different kVs.
Yeah, alright, fair play.
There's also a 1999 kV. That's the highest success kV. Sorry,
Look,
what'd you say?
those bells, are they like the stupidly curved ones?
What do you mean?
Like
They're
these?
like what's it called?
They're like
the
cyber.
red
They're
dwarf-
like disco balls, sort of like.
the red dwarf dude.
Relax.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Hologram.
T-motor.
Well,
yeah,
these are the
T-motor
these are the T-motor V-Locks motors.
Yeah.
ones. Tell which.
Bit of blink for
this-
your quad.
Yeah, this Falcor is the Falcor V1. It's not the 2 I've got in here. But I just thought it looks cool. It's a white camera, and I just thought it looks cool. But if I have some spare money lying around, I'll probably buy a Predator V5 for it, a mini Predator V5.
Predator V2 in that. I've had that since 2018. It's a
Oh yeah,
brilliant camera.
I've got a V1 in my 7-inch, and the V1 in my opinion has been the best one so far. I can't remember if I ever set it up, but I feel like I might have put back when Joshua Barbo did a tuning video on the Predators. I feel like I
Yeah,
put his tune
yeah,
on it,
Josh Barber
and the
Barbo
V1 tune was
Yeah, because
absolutely
they're like
insane.
blue.
Yeah,
Like the Predators are very blue.
yeah.
Like the hue is very blue.
On the
And
earlier
Barbo
ones,
tune
yeah.
somewhat corrects that.
The
But
V
I feel like,
V3
Yeah,
V4s
the
are a
later
little
ones
bit.
are nowhere near as bad.
Yeah. I agree. Especially in cold temperatures as well, they actually go like physically blue. I've had the Falcor lock up on me just with the cold temperatures. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
I found
Yeah, I'll
cameras
spot one
actually
for you.
tend to get quite hot after you sort of.
I
fly.
went back and forward with Harvey at Foxeer
Yeah.
to find out what was happening with these Falcor cameras, and then I went back to like a very old V1 Predator.
Yeah.
And it was the issue was gone, and then
I will
it's like,
be physically sad when that Predator in my 7-inch dies.
I need to get some
camera I know.
V5s. Apparently
Physically
they're
sad.
the
How
secret
would
sauce.
you be physically sad?
I'll just be so sad. Like, it's been such a good camera. It's that quad has lasted me like 2+ years now, and it's been great. It's only recently now that I've not really flown it a lot because I had some issues with it like a month ago, where I had to replace the ESC. And do you remember, George, when I came to
Yeah,
when I was flying with you? I plugged it in, and I can't remember which way around it was, but both my freestyle quads just weren't working for some reason.
Yeah, literally.
One had video but wouldn't connect to the Crossfire.
And then what did you do?
I flew the I flew the 3-inch, the 4-inch in the woods when we were flying, and then we went to the day mark and I flew my racer the day before the race and crashed it and knackered it.
Yeah. What did you do? Break a top plate and an arm?
The top plate was knackered and the arm was knackered. So this was the day before the race, and I had one spare quad. I had the sniper, which I ended up using.
Naughty.
And then when I got there on race day, I think it was the sniper. Every time I connected to the Crossfire and like power cycled it, I had to keep rebinding the Crossfire because the bind button had been hit, like had been pushed in and was held in, sort of internally. So I had to change the receivers out literally half an hour before the first heat.
Nice.
So.
Right, so when talking about analog FPV cameras, so we all know about
the
shark bite and
superior
stuff.
FPV cams.
Yeah. So we know shark bite's been released. Anyone seen any review videos or had any experience with any pre-release products? No. Yeah. No.
I've seen it
It's just
in
from
a
about
place
those
that
bald
was
heads on it, yeah.
very bad for multipathing, and all it was it just got rid of the multipathing. It still had the breakup that analog sort of video has, but it didn't have the multipathing side. So I suppose that's still a bonus. It's still a plus. The image wasn't. It wasn't amazing. It was better than say DVR footage from analog thing, but it wasn't. Obviously, it wasn't DJI thing. But you sort of discount that because you couldn't use that for racing.
Yeah. So there's been rumours across all the RC groups about the DJI FPV V2 goggles. Have any of you seen that?
Yeah,
I know there was a brief conversation in the chat this afternoon about it, but
I saw, Stephen, was it you said that the about a Mavic Mini V2 or something? It's not the goggles or something?
Yeah, shh. Yeah, there's the DJI Mavic Mini V2 is due to be released tomorrow.
Oh, right. Cool.
So when people are seeing V2, they're not.
Just in
I
time
don't
for
think they're
lockdown.
really understanding what's actually happening with the market at the minute.
Too bad I've spent all my money on those stacks.
So can I still buy DJI now and not wait?
Yeah, there's still DJI resellers that have the equipment in stock. Just a lot of people are looking for the Cadix. What are those things called?
Vista.
The Vistas, yeah.
Vista.
Yeah, so a lot of people are looking for the Vistas because they're small, they're light, they can put them on tiny quads, and just be done with GoPros and whatnot. You know, just for that tiny little quad flying experience. But the air units and things, they're still out there. It's just the more regular shops that have the equipment in, a lot of people go to them as a reputable seller, and then they'll be out of stock, and then they'll pass on the word of mouth. They'll go to the same store and go, no, it's out of stock. But there are other resellers across the globe that actually have the equipment in stock itself. So it's just a case of, you know, pick your country that you're in, find your local stores. I mean, it's not just like FPV drone stores like what we as hobbyists and racers and whatever go to. There are other commercial stores that actually have that equipment in, just to entice the actual what do you call them, professional drone market. You know, the
I
automated
just
stuff.
don't want to buy DJI V1 if there's a V2 coming out.
Well, they've been upgrading the firmwares for the air units and Vistas since they released the hardware. And since the 50 megabit update when they combined two channels, it's been mind-blowing. There's almost no latency between your sticks on Crossfire and the actual video feed. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, not to like promote my video, but I did do a side-by-side comparison video back in the summer. You know, it was a no frills. This is what analog you get. This is what digital you get. What would you prefer? Type of thing. It's not a case of I prefer this, I prefer that, I recommend this, I recommend that. It's pick what you want to see.
So the air unit.
I enjoyed the steel video actually.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the steel video. It says that the DJI makes you fly differently.
Yeah, it does.
How much you can.
It slows you down.
Yeah.
It slows you down because you can actually see more detail, and you're like, whoa. You would pick a line that you would usually fly in analog and go, right, okay, that's a blur, but now all of a sudden you've got complete visual. You've got all that detail as you're passing objects, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, slow down. You're like, what's that? What does that signpost say?
And that's the thing I worry about is like, are you going to lose a bit of that sort of...
A different side of you, yeah.
Well, I don't want to say like... Yeah, there's almost that sort of daredevil attitude. I'm just going to throw it at the ground and hope that I don't hit it, sort of thing, and everything's flashing past you. Like,
well,
is it going to change that sort of?
That would be up to you as a pilot, though, wouldn't it? So
some of those, when you do that, sometimes it results in something that can actually be quite cool on video, and it's whether that still happens. Yeah.
Exactly, because you can't see anything.
The one thing that I could see digital being quite good for as well is anything with water involved, like as in going over lakes and stuff. Because I found with a lot of videos on YouTube, people always complain that it's so difficult to tell how high you are over water, especially like these lakes that people go to in the mountains where they're like still as anything.
Yeah, if it's like, still, it's oh, that's a nightmare.
When you've got a digital system, you can't know. But when you've got a digital system, you stand a better chance than with an analog. Sort of, if you see what I mean.
Well, you pick out points of reference, you know,
exactly,
as long as you're not on like a completely flat piece of ground where there's nothing sticking out from it. You know, you've just got points of reference. When you're going out somewhere, you know, as you're passing that object, how high you are in comparison to it, and then on your return back, if you're crossing across that lake, you can almost certainly see whatever object it was you passed before on your return home, and that's kind of how I do it. You know, like fence posts, you know how high they are, 1.5 meters. if you're alongside it, you're not going to hit water. But if you're
A
plummeting
metre
down
and
a
a
mountain,
half.
yeah,
You might as well be 2,000 foot in the air. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
but yeah, I like the digital stuff, just because it's a nice visual experience for me personally, anyway. And you can fly around other places that you wouldn't be able to on analog. So I mean, I've literally been up and around the crest of a mountain where analog would just die. And I can get round digital, no bother.
What does it do? Just sort of reduce the bit rate? Like, do
Yeah.
you just get a lower sort of quality?
Yeah, so the DJI goggles, you've got a transmit function. So you're transmitting information to the quad or to the air unit or Vista, whatever, and you're also receiving at the same time.
Yeah.
So you're sending information out to say, look, boost power, whatever the command is that the DJI system's doing, to keep that signal going until it can actually bounce itself back again. Like if you're going behind buildings and all these things. It's pretty decent. I mean, how many of you have seen the DJI stuff in person?
I've seen the headset, like
No.
I've seen it, but I've not actually looked in the headset, if you see what I mean. So I've seen the gear, but I've just not actually tried it.
I've tried it a few times
Mm-hmm.
because my mate's got DJI obviously, and I built him a neutrino with a Vista.
Right.
And so I test for it on his DJI goggles and all that, and I love it. I just want it, but I feel like I want both. I still want analog for most of my stuff because obviously I've got like 8 quads on fucking analog. But yeah, I think it's
got walls of quads. Most of them are analog.
That's the bit I can't warrant price-wise is replacing. So building new quads is fine, but replacing quads with the digital system, you've got to spend an additional is it 175 quid for a air unit and like camera and the whole thing you need to convert it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but commercially wise, like it's just a must. It is. Yeah. You can't do anything else but have DJI at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because
exactly, George. And with the addition of the DJI Smart Controller that you can use for the Mavic Pros, Minis, whatever, and you can use that controller itself for your FPV system as well, and give your customer a complete 720p output of what they're seeing.
Yeah, and if you were to do some professional job on TV, something like that, and you're going to give, I mean, it's been said before, like Steele said it, everyone said it. You're going to give some dude a little shit screen that like looks like shit, a load of breakup and all this, and say, this is what you're going to get. Oh, trust me, it won't look like that. It's a GoPro, yeah. Or you can give them a DJI, a lovely looking screen, 1080p output, boom. Like people will already be impressed.
Yeah.
And also the other thing is that video in different environments is different. Like so we obviously I do work on the side at the moment flying drones. So me and my business partner did a job the other day at a massive construction site, and to do the job we had to break it up into sections instead of doing it as one long fly through. And if we had DJI,
one take, yeah,
one take, boom, done. 5 minutes work and you're done. And like, it wouldn't be such a hectic like, oh, we're gonna have a video here when I go around the building.
Hold on while I take that SD card out, put another one in, change a battery.
Exactly, and also
move up.
A fairly busy area that you can fly there, but you need to take certain precautions and like fucking. It's just if you had DJI, honestly, it'd just be 10 times easier done. But yeah.
Obviously, with spotters on the corners and stuff that you want to fly around, make sure everything's safe above board.
Like, this is a massive thing. We had like 6 guys with us, and that's the thing. To make it safe with FPV at the moment is harder to make it safe than to make it safe with DJI. It's a different. It's a completely different thing. So it's just so much better for that sort of environment.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I can't wait to get it.
Yeah, I would encourage you all to, at least have a look at it and see if it warrants, spending a little bit of.
How much do the goggles by themselves?
Well,
like 20 quid.
That's the thing, right? You can run analog receivers off the goggles as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah,
if
I
you're
understand
currently
that. Yeah.
if you're currently running like HD3s or whatever HDOs, get the new goggles or sell those, and you'll make your money back. Because there's always going to be analog people out there that will buy these and not faff around with the digital stuff. So you'll make your cash back. You won't be out of pocket that much, I don't think. I'm just like spitballing. But you can then plug in your analog receiver into your DJI goggles. Now, I think
feel
it's British Drone Industries do a polymer injected thing that goes on the front of the goggles that you can actually put the
And
receiver in.
you get a rapid fire module, don't you? I've seen people
Yeah.
put rapid fire modules in the DJI goggles.
Yeah, you can put a rapid fire in or fusion or whatever.
I think
flavor
before
is.
I go with that headset, the DJI, I think I'm going to see how this new Fat Shark system is, the Shark Bite, because that seems like it might be a lot easier if I've already got HDOs that you can just sort of slap them on the front.
But it's still nothing compared to DJI, and for an
I
extra
bet, yeah, I can imagine. But
DJI, so
I mean, the Shark Bite system's what, 250 quid, 300, something like that.
Right. Okay.
Give or take.
How much did you say they got the goggles, DJI goggles? Just 500 quid.
They'll be under that.
Right, okay, right.
Depends.
I thought they were 520 quid when I was looking. 500.
I'm sure I've seen them for 450 or 400, something like that.
It would probably be getting on cheaper. Well, not cheaper, but I wouldn't spend as much money if I just built a new quad rather than replacing the system. Because if I built a new quad, it's the air unit is everything you get with the 175 is your camera, your VTX, your receiver. It's not your receiver. It's if you're using Crossfire. What else is it? And then your flight controller on that, isn't it? Or do you have a separate?
No. So the
UFC standard.
Yeah. So you're basically using.
Oh, of course, yeah. You have an FC that can plug in.
So you're using basically what Crossfire would use, channel 1, channel 2. You use that on your DJI stuff. It's a separate UART basically with MSP enabled in Betaflight or whatever.
Okay.
And you can send your telemetry data to your OSD.
Yeah.
There's even custom scripts that you can run for OSD setup. The only thing with the digital, the DJI digital stuff, you can't record the OSD item locations on screen like you would with Betaflight in DVR. So with your HDOs,
DVR is just it without any OSD.
You'll get OSD in the goggles itself, but you can't actually record it with the icons in the exact place that you want them. It's it's a captions file on the SD card. It does record the information. You just need to add it in post to your footage to get the reading of what it is. And sometimes you might have custom items like with the KISS, the Flyduino KISS stuff that Alex has created. You can add all these extra items, return to home, GPS coordinates and stuff that's totally non-standard to what the DJI stuff can report. So you won't actually get that detail. Now for me, I like to run the GPS lat and long in the bottom of my goggles, right? That way, if I lose my quad, the last known recording is the lat and long that I've got. I can open up Google Maps on site and trek to wherever I need to get the stuff. And I can't do that with KISS. I can do that with Betaflight. So I'm not using the digital stuff as my long range at the minute.
If you're using Crossfire, it will report on the little screen on the back.
I use the See, that's the thing, right? I use an X9. I use an X9D Plus, right, a Steel Edition with the Micro V2 TX, so it doesn't have that screen on the back. It's only the 250 milliwatt one, and that's been fine for me.
It still reports it as telemetry to the drones.
Yeah, you need to set up a Lua script to record all the data, and it stores in a text file. But I've just never bothered with that. I know it's all about. Go on.
Without having to do that, all you do is you just search for a new sensor, and it finds your GPS thing, and it just displays it on one of the telemetry screens. So you don't have to set up any scripts or anything like that. You literally just.
Yeah, but it's recording that data though.
So you can set it to log if you want to. But if you don't want it to log, as soon as it disconnects and you lose your connection, it's still got the last reported GPS coordinates on the telemetry screen of the Tyrannus, as well as on the back on the Crossfire. You don't have to set up anything extra.
One thing I've noticed
I did
is
not know that.
Yeah, it's
I've always been
No.
reliant on the DVR. It's visual to me. I can just scroll back in my video and go, okay, what was that last number? Then it went
Yeah.
fuzzy. Yeah, okay, let's write that down. Okay, Google Maps. Right, 299 feet away. Right, let's go. No way.
well
But
useful.
yeah, I knew you could record the GPS coordinates and stuff in a text file on the Tyrannus itself.
Log.
I've just never gotten round to do any of that. And when I
Ah.
discovered that, I actually grabbed this radio as well. Just as a little gimmick. I haven't used that in a year.
Is that the T16?
Yeah, T16 Pro. With a colour screen. I just thought that it's quite weighty in comparison to the X90. It just doesn't fit my hands properly. It's weird. It's just been sat in the wall for a year.
Not my bag.
Yeah.
I like the Tyrannus.
Yeah. I'm using the Tango 2 now as my go-to radio because you'll know I've been up in the hills and stuff over the last couple of months, doing massive hill walking and whatever. So I've been grabbing my digital quad and my Tango and goggles in a tiny little compact bag, strap it in my rucksack, and I'm off. It's so easy. See, rather than a bloody low pro bag, the BPX 3 whatever thing it is, the massive turtle shell. Rather than drag that up and down the mountain all day, it's nice and easy to get a compact setup and just hit the mountains and go. And that's kind of what I've been experimenting with for the last little while. Yeah. So I might look into that GPS stuff in the Tango too. If I can record it there.
You
then
have to
that'd
be
sweet.
using CRSF, obviously.
Yeah.
To do the bidirectional. But yeah.
Cool. So, we've gone over a bit, but I think we can carry on if you're all okay with that. Just give our viewers a few more minutes of our beautiful faces. Just wanted to quickly talk about 3D printing. Now, Daniel, you're a pro, aren't you?
Well, if that's what you're classing me as, then yeah. I'll take that.
Now, what printer are you running at the minute?
What am I running?
Yeah.
Same setup that I've been built it in April this year.
3D printer, dude. 3D printer.
Oh. Mate, my Wi-Fi's all over the shop.
Nice one, Dan.
And he's disconnected.
I'm running a 3D GoPro mount. No,
So what?
I'm running an Ender 3. So
right. Is it a standard Ender 3? Is it the Pro?
No, Ender 3 Pro.
Right.
And I was gonna throw a load of upgrades at it, but then I didn't.
Okay.
But basically, it's just got a bunch of 3D printed upgrades on it, and it runs super nice. I don't see the point in changing anything. It's just a bit noisy.
I've messed about with mine a lot. I've got the i3 Mega, and I've only just recently got it to work, and it with all my upgrades. So I've got the improved stepper drivers, the TMC 2209 drivers, which are one of the things I highly recommend doing if you've got this on a printer, because it makes the motors
proper quiet
completely silent. The loudest thing on the printer now it was the motherboard fan. I replaced it, and the power supply fan. But I've replaced those both with silent fans. I've got a silent temperature fan, like a hot end fan, and a new blower fan, silent blower fan. And I'd say the blower fan's probably the loudest thing on it still. But at this stage, it's just in this cabinet here.
Oh, nice. Daniel.
The thing is with quiet fans.
Are you using the magnetic plate?
You want my genuine opinion on it?
No. Are you using it? Or are you using glass?
No.
I'll take that as a no.
No, yeah.
See,
I am. I'm using the, you know, the Creality glass with the hang
yeah,
on, I've got it here.
the borosilicate glass, the kind of
Oh
textured.
no, it won't come off my printer. Yeah, the borosilicate coating.
Yeah, that
and,
one. Yeah.
It's like slightly textured on top, and it's just brilliant.
So
like if you
It's the same
punch something
stuff
on that, you
as
can pick
online.
up the printer via the bed.
on the
It's the-
Anycubic, yeah. So
The Anycubic is the sort of.
what my issues are lately is I run an Ender 3 Pro and a i3 Mega, and my Ender 3 Pro came with screw marks in the bottom of the magnetic tape, so it actually punctured and then went into this. So when I opened the box, I was like, right, okay,
Oh, nice.
what do I do? Do I get in touch with the Creality and demand a replacement printer or a new top plate? And I was thinking, right, okay, if I do that, that's going to take time. I want to get printing in half an hour. So I was like, right, what do I do? I'm like, right, well, the earliest I'm going to be able to get something is in a few days. So I was like, right, Amazon, let's get the glass plate, 15, 20 quid or whatever, put that on. And I've never actually used this. Now, the amount of times I've like unstuck prints on the glass beds, well, I've been through 3 of them now with the scraper. It's actually taken the top layer of glass off when I've been trying to take the prints
Are you
off.
using a scraper or not?
Well, I was
It's all
using
about temperature.
Warm water on the. Can you take the plate out of the printer?
Yes,
Oh.
The way
I have mine set up, so if I'm in a rush to get a print off, what I do is I only have one little clip because it actually like sticks down to that magnetic coating eventually. Like it's stuck on. I can't get it off now. I'll have to wedge it off. But if I'm in a rush, you can just take it off. The most important wipes are like most like isopropyl alcohol wipes are bloody brilliant for it.
Yeah.
Clean it off. I'm printing hot end 60 bed, and then the big thing is just to cool it down. So like, if I'm in a rush to get something off, like especially big parts as well, I'll take the actual glass off in my window with the window open, just leave it there, and the print literally just drops off the glass. I don't have to remove it
because the bed
it
cools
will
down.
not come off if it's hot.
I mean, for me, initially it's getting that first layer down. Now, because over the time I've actually scratched the top surface off, I've gone round and mesh bed leveled to a point where it's like a micrometer out, and it's still not sticking. So I've either had to adjust all the flow settings and things just to get more filament out, just to compensate. But I'm thinking,
What
right,
initial layer height do you use?
I've tested with 0.2 and then 0.4 to double it, just to get that squish.
I'd also up the temperature.
Stock is 0.4.
I religiously use.
Cures.
I religiously use 0.2. The problem is if you try and put too much material down at once, it slows down the cooling, and that's why it warps up. So yeah, 0.2 is like a really nice, happy sort of medium, and then I just wind my nozzle in quite close. I don't do, and then I just use the knobs.
So you do a four corner turn just to get it squished, right?
Yeah,
okay.
And I'll just print something that's big and then just dial it in with a skirt. So I'll run a skirt around my print and I just dial it in.
That's what I do. I do a 3.
And if I make a mess.
Yeah, I'll do a 3-line skirt and then into the actual print itself for the first layer. And then once I get that, I use baby stepping just to like crank it down or up wherever I need to, so I don't need to adjust all the corners. It's a bit of a pain. So what I've done is I've ordered a replacement magnetic bed just to test that out.
Well, the thing is, the problem is with the Enders is about 1 in 5. Well, no, not even 1 in 5. There's like 2 or 3 in 5 will come with a warped bed. And that was the problem with mine. So the actual center of my bed is fractionally lower.
I think most printers are like that, though. I found that with mine.
Yeah.
The bed's warped. It's to do with when they heat up for the first time or whenever. So I assume they test them in the factory. The but I found with both the printers, or all the printers I've ever used, the bed's always been warped to some extent. Like the bed's never level, so like at all, no matter how much you
Yeah,
level
and that
it.
makes it a pain in the ass to get a first layer.
Especially it's an
So
issue
hard
with
to get
big
first
prints,
layer.
but if you're using your printer to do like small parts, so quad parts like GoPro mounts and that, you'd probably be alright. But if you're doing something that's got a wide sort of or a big bottom to it, then you're gonna struggle.
There's my mouse. There's my thing. I use it as
Yeah.
a mouse mat.
Mouse mat.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I've ordered a spare magnetic one to come in the next couple of days or so. So I'm going to test that out and see what that's like. If it's crap, it's crap.
It's a
I
good
just I never
concept.
I just never got to test it when I got the printer. It just went straight to glass and then done. So
Stephen, if I can get a photo of my printer, look, I'll show
Yeah.
you. So I've got a direct drive. I've done a direct drive mod on my i3 Mega
yeah,
for
same here.
TPU. But I've designed it myself and stuff. I just need to put it on Thingiverse. But I'll
Ooh,
take some
fancy.
photos.
Fancy. So
Oh, fancy boy.
Shane Slider is currently testing resin, the flexible resin stuff. So anyone in the chat, if you're looking for some nice, clean resin printed parts for your quads, go check out the store. There's someone up in there that he's managed to.
I've put some photos
Get
in the
printed.
Discord. They're just loading in, Stephen.
Those prints he did on the 399, they look lovely, didn't they?
Yeah, they're super clean. Then.
Yeah.
It looked almost like injection molded.
I can sum up resin very quickly.
There we are. I'll put some photos in
that's
of my.
Oh yeah, see them.
I've got some
Oh, that's
soundproofing
interesting.
in
So
there
you're
as well.
running the Nocturas?
Yeah, the Noctua is for the hot end.
Yeah, so that's.
Is that the 4010?
It's the 4010, yeah.
Yeah.
And then all the prints are my own design.
Have you had any issues with heat creep on that then?
Not really. I've not at all. No, I'm running MOSFETs as well on the bed and the hot end. Just some Banggood MOSFETs.
Yeah, it's just on the ender we get heat creep quite a lot, and if you're not pushing enough air at the hot end, you end up with all sorts of
my
weirdness.
temperatures are bang on all the way through the print. One thing I noticed that was interesting was after I installed the MOSFET for the bed. I mean, I've got it on both the extruder and the bed, but the bed, there's a little LED light on the underside of my bed, and it tells you when it's heating and when it's not. What I noticed before the MOSFET is that it would have it on solid until the temperature was slightly over the required amount. So, like, let's say you set your bed to 60 degrees, it would wait till it's like at 62, 61 degrees, and then it would cut off. I've noticed with the MOSFET, the light is just like that, flashing like that. So it's keeping the bed temp like bang on throughout the print.
Oh, nice. Might need to look
Oh,
into
right,
a
fair
new motherboard for it then.
I bought a new motherboard in the end because if you remember rightly, there was issues with
you
the
had
printer,
issues. Yeah.
the TO sensor error.
Yeah.
That was the original issue. That's why I've done all the upgrades, was to diagnose that. So, what else it's got? It's got an E3D V6 hot end with their nozzle X,
nice.
which is a hardened steel nozzle.
Well, you won't have issues with heat creep on the V6 because the heat sink on it is like the dogs.
It is, yeah. It's pretty good. I actually had to sense.
The
I actually had an
Creality hot
issue.
end is crap.
I had an issue with I bought a TI heat break, titanium heat break, and it actually failed on me within like 6 hours of printing.
Yeah, that's the
E3
E3DV6.
Yeah, that's the i3 Mega top plate, isn't it, Stephen?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I recognised that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might put this on Thingiverse, so if you want to do a conversion.
Yeah, please. So
it uses the Mega
The only
S.
issue with direct drive is.
Yeah, go on. I think Dan's delayed, so he hears.
You end up with a lot of weight.
Yeah,
I am.
That's what I've tried to
Wi-Fi.
do. It uses the stock Mega S extruder. It's a Titan extruder.
Yeah, I've got one in the drawer behind me.
Yeah, so if you've got one of them, it'll work perfectly. The shroud that I've designed for the cooling, the hot end cooling, is you want to do in PETG for the temperature resistance.
Yeah.
And I've done the bracket for the hot end and the extruder. It's done in PLA, Hobby King PLA actually. That bright green you can see because it's
I keep
it's the
forgetting
most.
Hobby
King
King
PLA
to-
is the crappiest PLA.
No, honestly, that PLA, it's not like normal PLA. I'm surprised they called it PLA, but it's really rigid. So for what I wanted it to do, it's great. Because I printed
It's
one
so
in PET
rigid
G.
that my
Can't find it. Hang on.
high capper holster just exploded first
Oh
time.
yeah. I printed the bracket that the extruder is mounted with. I actually printed one in PET G, and it was way too bendy for me to use. It's like way too bendy. Like I could pretty much snap it in half if I can find it. It's in this box somewhere. I've got a box of just failed parts from designing this hot end. And there's God knows how many parts in this.
I went through a big phase of printing all the benches.
Oh yeah, I'm on a total of 4
Had a
benches
full
now.
shelf full of them.
Yeah. They take a long time though for what
Yeah,
they
they do.
are for
Yeah,
for a
like
test.
2 and 3 hours, aren't they?
Well,
Yeah.
2 hours for me on my printer. It's one reason why I missed my.
It's like the
previous printer.
Creality dog print. It's the most
Oh, there it is.
pointless thing ever.
One thing I also have tried printing. I've not finished one yet because I was stopping them halfway through. Was the calibration cats on Thingiverse, the ones with the 20mm by 20mm head, so you can check your tolerances. But so I printed this is a PET G. So this is what it looks like. The bracket I designed for the hot end. It literally just bolts straight on. It has a there's the end stop there for the x-axis micro switch. But you can see how much it flexes. Look, I've literally just broken it. Look.
Yeah.
Look. And that's the PET G was not strong enough for what I wanted it. So.
Fair enough.
I made some mods and printed it in PLA, and it's a lot stronger.
That resin stuff is pretty crazy, isn't it? Like.
Yeah.
It's mad.
It's super silky and smooth.
It's a pain in the ass.
I didn't know until Shane told us the other day that he was doing the flexi ones. I didn't know flexible resin was a thing because my buddy prints in resin loads of models and then he paints them and stuff like that. But flexible stuff's mad cool. I really want to go for a mount now.
Yeah, I'm the same. Shane. Send me one.
Yeah, Shane, please print the Drino GoPro mount.
Shane, I'll send you some files over. Print as an Apex mount, will you, please?
Awesome. Right, have we got any other topics we can clear up in the next 5-10 minutes? Or are we good for now? Any questions in the chat?
Is
I know
bot
it's gonna
grounded
be...
more than 10 minutes?
Yeah, I was going to say, we've kind of gone over time to talk about bot and drib.
I know. We could probably do that just now if you want. So latest FPV personality argument is bot grinder and lid rib. Going
Yeah, I've seen it.
So why?
Social post to social post.
Message bot grinder. What did bot grinder do just before that message? Did something happen just before that message, or it was just in general what bot grinder had been doing?
Bot grinder dropped the reason why Drew sent him the message recently. He said basically he a while ago he sent a message or was commenting on a post, replying to a dude's comment about Quadbox and basically shit talking Quadbox, and that's why Drew DM'd him.
Ah, right.
Pretty much.
So obviously we don't have the inside scoop on everything that's happened, but from what I can glean from it is that Mr. Crasher wasn't being treated great, whether it was, salary or perks or whatever he was expecting. He didn't get that wish list and wasn't really looked after, I believe. Don't quote me, it's my own personal thoughts. And then he posted a screenshot of Drew contacting him saying, don't talk about us like that kind of thing, and get well
Which
soon.
is so bitchy as well.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm sort of in the middle with this. Like, fair enough on bot's side that it's a bit weird, an ex-employer contacting you to say stop doing this. But then, fair enough on Drew's side, if someone's shit talking the company, you're not just going to sit there and let it happen, are you?
Well, exactly, right. This
Yeah.
That's what I was saying
So
before
there's
we
two
went
sides
live.
of the
It's
argument.
the whole business aspect of it. So
Yeah.
if you're going to be, singing and dancing with the business at the time, and then shit goes wrong, and you're no longer affiliated with them, what point is there to shit talk them? Why not just let them carry on with the stuff that they were doing badly and let them just fizzle out? And
Exactly.
if they recognise what they're doing is wrong, they'll hopefully amend their either
Because
attitude
I
or
can-
business practice or whatever, and then build themselves back up again. Get that reputation. But for an ex-employee to go, hold on a minute, do not buy quad box or whatever was said. This is what you need to go and do because I'm promoting this one now or whatever. It just doesn't make sense to me. But
I think the whole thing's on a personal level between them two, and it shouldn't have been shared publicly. But
Correct.
at the same time,
Exactly.
whatever, like, who cares really? They're both as bad as each other, as they say. Hey.
If Rotor Riot had any sense, though, at this stage, if they had any sense, they would notice that everyone in the FPV community agrees on one thing, that the old videos were so much better with the full team in, with like Tommy, with Steel, with Charpu, with all the old guys. Those videos were awesome. Everyone used to watch those videos, and ever since of all those guys have gone, it's just gone downhill.
Do you know what? Even if they still did the same sort of shit with the new people, it would still be half as good.
Yeah, exactly.
But now they just sit in a studio and
exactly.
talk to us as if we're idiots and like. That's the.
Yeah. Oh, what does ESC
I
stand
watch
for?
FPVs.
Yeah.
But if you didn't know, we fly FPV drones, and FPV drones is this. Fuck me! How times do you say that in every video? It's like, fucking hell.
I wonder how people like Steel. I don't know if he's commented on it. I've not heard him, but someone else might have. I wonder how Steel and everyone else feels about it now they've sort of seen how what they were involved in has sort of gone to sort of how it's gone and whatnot.
They'll be glad that they've jumped.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
The thing is, though, Steel and the rest of them are the sort of people that just sort of sit back and go, like just laugh at them.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you have to look at the guys that have left, right? So, Chad Nowak, what's he doing these days? He's a commercial pilot in Australia, in the bar yonder farms and stuff, right? He's doing all that stuff. That's the last I've heard. So he's doing well for himself. Who's next? Sharpu. He's making movies, animated movies. Who cares, right? He's a genius, right? Leave him be. Who's next? We've got Steel, Tommy, Kevin, Schizo, right?
Yeah,
that's
right, yeah.
And
Kevin's a pilot as well, in
Kevin's commercial pilot.
Yeah.
Steel, he does his own ethics branding, successful that way. Tommy, umagod.com, does his own products. He's roped in cricket, get that moon goat frame out there. They're all doing well for themselves outside of Rotor Riot.
Sitting there getting fucking bitch slapped by everyone else.
Schizo is doing.
And it doesn't matter. Schizo owns a BMW M2, so clearly he's doing something.
And a classic. And a classic.
Everyone seems to bitch slap Schizo on this live stream.
Well, Schizo's been doing some software gaming. He's made a new game, and he's put that to tender, so he can capitalize on that. So I'll be.
Dan, for my printer, I bought this as well. The 92 mil by 14. Not too a fan for my power supply, but I was a bit of an idiot. I rushed in there and sort of saw this Thingiverse post, which had one of these. I don't know where it's gone, but it had a printable cover for the power supply, which you fitted this to. And I was a bit of an idiot and didn't check the version of my power supply, and I need the 65 mil fan because this hits one of the, I think it's the coil, the copper coil in there. It clips the top of it. So
nice.
I installed it. I installed it.
3D printed cover.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want a 3D printed cover because if something does go wrong in that
It's just gonna
PSU, then the
melt.
food you think
It's
is
gonna
go
melt.
up like smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've just put
Yeah.
I put the
Yeah.
stock fan back in there with the metal thing. So, and it's not actually that loud. The main loud fan was the motherboard fan. So I've replaced that with a silent fan, and it's pretty damn quiet. And I've got to make it even
The
more
end of free
quiet.
PSU.
Yeah,
The
I
the
put
end
some
of free
more.
PSU fan sounds like a Harrier jump jet. Ow.
I put some. If you might be able to see from the photos, I stuck some soundproofing in there as well.
Mr. Wiggles in the chat's got a point, right? We're talking about printing tiny little models for quads and stuff. Have you guys ever seen the Thanos builds? The 3D printed
That's what he
Thanos
does.
stuff?
That's
That's
literally what Mr.
insane.
Wiggles does. He prints it in
Yeah.
resin and then paints them.
Like massive gloves. It's brilliant.
Wicked.
But yeah, I think we're about done tonight. Yeah? No?
Listening to you guys makes me want Yorkshire pudding.
Ooh, that's all smoke out, that is. Lovely.
What was
Oh,
that? Is that J Red nibbling?
No.
No, it's someone Goonie.
Goonie.
But yeah,
No
right.
comment.
We'll wrap it up for tonight. Those in the chat, thanks for coming along. Thanks for your conversational points and stuff. And yeah, we'll lol. We'll call it a night. So it's a good night from us, the team. So we'll go this way. So we've got George.
It's different on the Discord.
Is it?
To YouTube.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
All right. So my live stream is
pointing to no one.
right.
I'm looking
So
at the screen like, yeah.
right. Okay. So it's a goodbye from Daniel.
Bye.
Goodbye from
Tangent
Luke.
so long. See ya.
And a goodbye from James.
See you later.
And Malcolm Kelsey.
Bonsoir.
And it's a goodbye from me, Stephen. Be sure to tune in next week. Hopefully we might have Shane on, boss man, but we'll wait and see. We do have some guests coming on in future. Just keep an eye out on the Instagram and tune into the next episodes. We might release some teasers as to who's coming on. We might not. Who knows? So yeah, we'll call it a night. Enjoy the rest of your evenings, days, whatever, and catch you all next week. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.